10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Na'Vi's turn to ban. Dire team ban. Na'Vi's turn to ban.
QO doesn't know what he's saying, but he does know one thing. Yellow Submarine are the team to beat here in this series against Na'Vi as we get ready for game number 2 and draft number 2. It is ahead of us, but I've got my panel that is to the left of me. I was going to say ahead of me, but you guys aren't actually ahead of me.
Yeah, a little bit.
I've got QO, lads. Game number 2 draft. It's around the corner. Screens. Now, we talked about this a little bit. The priority went the way of Na'Vi. They wanted second pick, and then Yellow Submarine they picked up.
What did I say? I said they just want to secure that last pick for Iceberg so that at least he's going to have an okay time in the mid lane. It felt like he was playing on the back foot all throughout. And I don't really expect Yellow Submarine's bans to change all that much. Probably going to still keep the Doom there, but Phoenix is something that they play around really well too. There it is. I mean, first pick, you've got it. Why not abuse it?
The Oracle. So smart.
No, it's an Ogre, not an Oracle.
I feel like you and QO, you and QO could cosplay a pretty good Ogre Magi.
Yeah?
Put your two heads together.
No,
who would be the smarter
we
one?
have to be in the same shirt if you want
to. At least.
Oh my god. Okay.
Just come closer to me.
Okay, I think I've set my paddle on a little bit too far of a downward spiral, but let's start talking about the draft a little bit. Ogre Magi first pick here from Na'Vi. I want to hear some ideas behind it.
He's got 2 heads, so you've already got the advantage there.
Cool.
Yeah,
2v1 already. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 6v5, you know, if they don't pick something else. Well, any other 2-headed heroes?
Twin-headed dragon.
Oh yeah, twin-headed dragon. Jakiro could come out.
Lawseeker pick.
Next question.
Does Ogre bleed more that he's got 2 heads?
Yeah, he should be.
I mean, he's kind of a thick boy, you know.
So he would bleed.
Remaining
Okay. I'm glad that we've solved the greatest mysteries of Dota 2 here on the panel, but somebody that also bleeds quite a lot is the Lifestealer here. A hero that we haven't been seeing all too much, especially across today. We've seen a few other carry heroes being out, but is this a good enough counter to the Phoenix, do you think, QO?
I think it's a good counter to Bloodseeker, but I think I have to see how this matchup's gonna go. I think it can go both ways. If Bloodseeker right-clicks Lifestealer hard enough, I don't think he can regen off like through the creeps, and Bloodseeker will. Yeah, it can go.
Yeah, I mean, you've been really impressed with Collapse's laning all throughout this tournament. Do you feel like this is, is it a 50-50 matchup in your eyes, or is it more favored towards the Lifestealer?
It should be more favored towards Lifestealer in my opinion, but I don't know. I think Na'Vi are choosing what they're not comfortable with, because I think Weetune was playing all these hard carries, but because Collapse is laning, I think last game he had 34 CS of Collapse and the
20
Weetune at 20. Yeah, so you don't want to obviously get into that situation, so might as well this time let's go pick this lane strong hero and let's not let's play our game. But it's just not a Weetune's comfort.
Yeah, and you've also obviously the late game has kind of been banned out, right? Mag, Faceless Void are gone, Spectre is gone, so Na'Vi feels like they're going much more all in onto this early game strategy. Terrorblade, kind of in the same vein, same thing with Morphling, things that can just out-carry you as it gets later on, and especially with a Lifestealer, you hate facing a TB, so I think even though TB can come online and push a little sooner than some other hard carries, you just don't want to face into it with this particular matchup.
Yep.
5 seconds
I really like playing TB.
I'm feeling a bit strong. From the start of draft number 1, it felt like Yellow Submarine were just in the box seat for the win from the very beginning. This time around, Na'Vi, they've got a key strategy in mind. Yes, they gave up the Phoenix, but if there's anyone that knows how to exploit it, it's them, just because it's always one of Fly's go-to hero, so they're going to know how to play around that. So have we got left that they could potentially pick up? You would have to assume that Iceberg's hero is going to be last, so let's consider the position 3 and 4 heroes. Batrider, probably not that great for them. Yes, you can put some early aggression on, but who cares really? Beastmaster's still in the pool if you want to enable that early game. It's something that they really do like playing on general as well, so it wouldn't surprise me to see Na'Vi pick that one up.
Yeah, but the problem is Na'Vi has to show the other 2 heroes, so which means Yellow Submarine is gonna see their off lane and will be able to counter it.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, that is true.
So what, you think the carry for Yellow Sub's going to come with that last pick of the second phase of the draft?
Sorry?
So it's going to go Na'Vi, Yellow Sub, Na'Vi, Yellow Sub.
Like,
So do you think they're going to pick their carry hero last in this phase? Or
yeah, no, I think Yellow Submarines will pick definitely pick carry here in the before it gets banned. So
Well, is
yeah,
I really left though.
I really like how they banned this Batrider and Mars, because those two are the heroes that doesn't have that many counters. Like you get forced to pick like a specific heroes, but even if you do that, I don't think like throughout this whole tournament
Navi's
there
turn
wasn't
to
really like that ownage in the laning
Yeah.
against these two.
yeah, and you know that Na'Vi were never going to be the ones to ban Mars. A, because presumably pick their offlane hero, and B, lifesteal is pretty damn good against it. So good to prevent that that double
10
benefit.
seconds remaining.
Na'Vi.
Only thing that I concern
5
is the
seconds
Bloodseeker change his lane and pick Slaughter. That's like another tool that I have.
What, so put the Bloodseeker as like a mid hero for Toronto Tokyo, even, I would hate to say it, a position 1 for Yatoro.
It's possible.
Like, how do you change up the Bloodseeker to
Yeah.
try and make sure that it's a better matchup, or even a 4?
I think that this is a hero that hasn't been discovered much after that change, and like that Blood Rage buff is actually Dane with his attack speed and like this spell amplification.
Even on a Phoenix, right? Like that's an insane amount of magic
Dire
damage
team
coming
pick.
through. The Enchantress, so going pretty safe, and an Earth Spirit to follow up.
Okay.
I mean, again, aggression. He's going to get something like an early Urn of Shadows, convert that into a vessel, be really effective against the heals coming from both the Phoenix and the Bloodseeker. And you would think with these early kill lineups that
10 seconds
they're going to just try
remaining.
and snowball and end the game in 25 minutes or so.
I like how Na'Vi had
5
3 passive
seconds
hero
remaining.
last game, like backline hero, and this time they have these 3 aggressive heroes that just
This is the divide
running.
draft. That's what this is.
Well, they did lose that first game, so maybe they're understanding the mistakes they made in that first draft, so now they're going to play a little bit faster. I'm sure MLP out the back is cheering to see another Earth Spirit being picked in PS1 Germany. So, lads, for Yellow Submarine, I feel like they need a Mapushka hero, right? Can they go back for something like a Disruptor, or do they feel like that Na'Vi's going to be having too much fast pace for a Disruptor?
I'm just thinking, like, they've gotten rid of Mikoshka's Enchantress, which is obviously very good. What else is good at shoving out lanes and making sure that you're just able to push things into the later game? I mean, Wyvern kind of is, but it's a pretty bad Wyvern game in my mind. And it's a first Bane. First Bane of the
New
tournament.
hero Pog.
Our producer Phil said we were going to see a new hero.
That is true. He was very adamant, so maybe he's got the script sitting in front of him.
I was thinking something like a Grimstroke or something along those lines. You know, double rupture, always nice. You could create a lot of havoc just being soulbound together as well. You can oftentimes get a double,
10 seconds remaining.
a double, like a
5
good super
seconds
off
remaining.
basically. But Bane's okay. I'm just a little worried that they're going to be pushed way too quickly. Bane has 0 counter to split
Dire
push.
team back.
It's putting a lot of faith into this
Phantom
Phoenix
Assassin.
and the Bloodseeker, and they're
Oh,
picking up here again more single target damage. I'm not a huge fan. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, like I think I didn't like this Bane pick. As soon as like I see Nature's Prophet coming out from the Na'Vi, like,
Yeah.
this hero does nothing.
10 seconds
Are they setting
remaining.
themselves up for an aggro tri-lane? No, Bane's really good in those tri-lane, dual-lane kind of situations.
5
Phoenix can
seconds
always
remaining.
implement that. PA to a certain extent can fight against these heroes, and then Bloodseeker the 1v1
Navi's
versus.
turn to
The only thing I
ban.
can think of here is that they really wanted some form of BKB piercing disable. And if that's the case, why not pick Wyvern? I know I'm a Wyvern spammer, but still, it does that, plus it stops this Death Ball aggression, plus you've got Splinter Blast to shove waves out. So I feel like that would have been much more ideal.
Or
10
like even
seconds
that Willow,
remaining.
put Phoenix like a top and
Dire
then just
team
bother
back.
this lifesteal at bottom.
Yep.
Because this can't be always 5. I have no
Navi's
problem
turn
with
to
being
ban.
5, but like, I obviously have like an issue with this Bane pick here.
Some respect coming out with the DP being removed, so trying to get rid of a lot of AoE damage. What have we left? I mean, with this Nature's Prophet, it's not confirmed exactly where it's going to go. They play it both
10
in the mid lane as
seconds
well as
remaining.
off. I would lean more strongly towards it being in the mid lane, just
5
because
seconds
I mean,
remaining.
you would think that Yellow Submarine are having a similar sort of thought process as us, right? They want the last pick overall in the draft to make sure they can secure Iceberg's heroes. So let's pick something that's good against everything. But maybe
Dire
that's something
team
that the
pick.
Nature's Prophet can exploit.
And I really like this Voice Spirit pickup. Like if the Yellow Submarine didn't ban it, they banned Shadowfin and Storm. Like when you're playing PA, you really don't want to play against Bolt Spirit and Earth Spirit at the same time. He can just run at you, be like
10
1 or 2.
seconds remaining.
And once he gets that Ags, it's a silence. You're probably going to build an Orchid as well.
Five
And it's
The
against
next
Bane
buff
as
it.
well, so why not? Like just get first item Agony, man. This Bane has like.
So what do we think for Yellow Submarine then? Are they going to pick up the Void Spirit for themselves? It is a Mio Classic, so gives them a little bit more AoE. It's not really all too much to push out these lanes, but
Yeah.
gives them a little bit.
That's what I'm concerned about. Invoker's banned, DP's banned, Storm is banned, Doom is banned. With Void Spirits, what about a
Say, what about a Magnus? But nah, I mean,
banned?
So we need some AoE, we need some lane push, right, lads? So we need a little bit more delay for this Phantom Assassin to get to a point where...
Puck, but not really liking the Puck. It just does nothing against this lifestealer.
Navi's turn to
What are we going to see here? Yellow
Wind
Submarine
Ranger
has
at your
picked the
service.
Toronto-Tokyo Wind Ranger.
It's okay. I don't mind it a huge amount, but again, very single target focus.
Yep, I think Navi can just pick up the Ember here, and I think they're gonna have a really good draft.
10
What
seconds
about-
remaining.
Mid-Lycan boy.
It's okay.
Yeah, not bad.
5
Gives them the
seconds
push.
remaining.
They have very little lane clear here for Yellow Submarine. They can play really, really fast.
Broodmother?
Brood Mama.
They actually have zero thing to deal with Broodmother.
Very true. Can be a Brood Mother pick. Let's see if Iceberg wants to be dirty. Be a dirty hero picker.
Dirty boy.
And we've got 30 seconds, lads, so we've put out a few more summon heroes out there. Do you think this is a strong enough lane for the Nature's Prophet, Matt, to still go mid and they pick a general hero here?
I think it's okay.
Yeah.
They could even just go Zeus as well, right? You've got Global Teleport.
Yeah, I like Zeus.
You've got the vehicle for the Lifestealer with the Earth Spirit as well. I think it's not too bad of a game.
Well, it seems like they've got plenty of options here to do Na'Vi. It's whether or not Iceberg wants to pick them up, which one he wants to carry this game on. We saw in those player cam replays that he was getting a little frustrated with himself, so he's looking to pop off this game here. It's going to be the
Select your
Conquer.
heroes.
Okay. A little bit of a tankier hero. They've got a lot of AoE disable now for Iceberg. Is that a strong enough lane though, lads? Is that a strong enough win in the mid lane for Na'Vi?
I think it is. Yeah, against a Wind Ranger.
It's
like-
more team fight. They were lacking that a little bit, I suppose. Had, what, 2 stuns to that point, and one of them's really unreliable, one's super short range, so I don't mind it. You want to be able to, like you mentioned before, you hate playing a game as a PA against both a Earth Spirit and a Void Spirit. I feel like Conquer, while it's not silence, fulfills a similar sort of annoying strategy. I'm going to go with Na'Vi for this one.
Go with Na'Vi for this one. Let's see if you guys are the same with that GG bet odds. Whoever swung in the favor here of Yellow Submarine. So, Kyo. But
I really like Navi's draft.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I wanna go with Navi as well. But
he likes yellow stuff.
Collapse use my name, so
He's still your boy, no matter
Still
what.
my boy. I think
All
I
right.
have to go with.
Seems like win or loss here, it doesn't matter for QO as his boy Collapse will perform nonetheless. But we're going to head into game number 2 here between Na'Vi and Yellow Submarine. So we're going to leave our casters one more time. It's going to be Odie Pixel.
Yeah, what do you reckon about this, Fog? Bit of a better draft overall from Na'Vi in comparison to game 1?
Much better, infinitely better. Can't even say how much better it actually is. It's leaps and bounds better. I think they covered this a lot. I think Yellow Submarine with their last 2 picks, I did like that quite a bit, in particular versus the Lifestealer. Very single target focus though at their draft.
Yes. What to sort of the point overall where you'd say you actually prefer what Na'Vi's come in with this game compared to what Yellow Submarine's brought to the table?
Where did I go?
It's close. I see Na'Vi having like a lot more ways to fight and stuff in the mid game, and I've seen this Lifestealer. This hero has actually been owning almost every game I see him in, especially versus the Phoenix. I think the last 2 picks from Yellow Submarines is the one thing that kind of turns me, because the PA and the Wind Ranger, they do have that really good core versus core matchup versus that Lifestealer. So I think that's the one thing that could turn it to me, but I give Na'Vi maybe a slight favor.
Okay, because, you know, as you say, as strong as these 2 cores are against the Lifestealer, are they cores that are going to have issues sort of in the early stage of the game? Like, do you see this PA getting pressured a lot? Is this Wind Ranger going to get not necessarily an easy lane in the mid lane?
I don't think that they'll get pressured so much per se in the lane. Like Wind Ranger will, I think they'll do fine in the lane. I think in the mid game though, these heroes are punished a bit with they have to be very mobile. I think Kunkka breaks mobility. Same thing with Earth Spirit. These 2 heroes I feel like are very good versus the PA and the Wind Ranger in the mid game.
Oh, we'll find out shortly. We do just have a brief pause, so
Yeah.
take care of us, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be able to get the game under the way. But sort of overall, the big thing, I guess, as well, in terms of the change from Na'Vi's heroes is that they do have team fight right this
Yes.
time. They are going to be able to brawl. And did sort of the opening surprise you? Did you like this whole Ogre Lifestealer opening to a draft?
I didn't really understand. I don't really get the Ogre just yet. I'm not too sure why they picked it. I guess they just wanted some very strong laner. And the Lifestealer makes sense because they saw the Phoenix. We've seen that done from a lot of teams before, but yeah, not too sure. The Ogre, it works. I think this is a hero that's fine. You can just, I don't mind when teams just like pick a hero like that because you're going to be able to do so much with it anyway with Bloodlust in this game too. So it could work out.
Let's have a look, see what Navi's got. Second game is as rough as sort of last game ended. They definitely could attribute that towards the drafting rather than the play. So now here with a draft that definitely looks to be able to give Navi a much better shot. We might see something a little bit different pull off.
Yeah. I guess the slight concerns I do have for their draft is it's very melee focused. It's just the Nature's Prophet who's that ranged hero versus the Egg. They do at least have the rage of the Lifestealer, but I can see ways that they can play around it, right? Like if this Lifestealer runs in a range and tries to commit, Bane's in a good spot, he Fiend Grip him. This could be a really tough time for them to actually take out those Eggs. So there are a lot of things that Yellow Submarine do have to their draft. Also addressing that Lifestealer, like we said, you know, Wind Ranger PA, good versus Lifestealer. Bane, you know, Fiend's Grip, very good versus Lifestealer. Rupture, very good versus Lifestealer. So it does seem like they've addressed this 4 Protect 1 that Navi is coming out with. And that's why they did go so single target oriented as the panel was mentioned.
Yeah. Well, into the sense, yeah, they get rid of him. They're not going to have too many issues over places. I mean, top lane, General on his Prophet, much happier to see this in comparison to a Clock.
Even though his clock, you know, it's general clockwork, it's still one of the better heroes. It just fits. It's just an actual 3. I just feel like clockwork doesn't work in the 3 position most.
Setups we do. Moment, yeah, so bad. It's going to be down here with Collapse. We're going to see Ogre Lifestealer lane from always want to fly in V-Tune. Mid lane is expected. Mio Wind Ranger against Iceburst Kunkka. And starting top. Roger backing up Prophet against and the PA.
A nice block from Mio actually gets the wave into the tower here. Iceberg kind of just not blocking to make sure that happens. Mio misses the range creep with his power shot actually, but is able to get 2 last hits. I like this as a Wind Ranger actually when you're able to double up wave versus any melee heroes. Just lets you get these free harassments and denies a lot of the times.
Yeah, I mean, in this lane against the Kunkka, just sort of the Tidebringer hits and potential setup with the X Mark prove to be too much, or are you always going to be fine playing around with the power shot to control the lane position?
In the lane, Wind Ranger just mid game it can be annoying. The X just becomes super annoying because you have to wait on your win run a lot of the times, and it can kind of just break this hero because you're very squishy too. You can be very frail and just die to the burst.
I mean, top lane with Poshka is able to get the current. Is it a lane where you sort of see Roger making moves with Iceberg to try and gank the Wind Ranger, or is it just going to be a little too tricky on the early levels?
He can do it only with TPs, like if he hides himself and he finds some TP, but I want Roger to stay top. I think if he leaves General, I think if he leaves General, that's when General can actually die. Besides, if General's not alone up here, he'll never die. He'll always survive with the Earthquake.
So far, Body not taking too much harassment in these lanes. V-Tune still full HP, full mana down bottom. Yatoro as well. General as much as he's farming. It's not necessarily doing too much to affect Yatoro's progression.
Yep, we slowed him down a tiny little bit, but nothing too massive. That'll happen. It's kind of just like this watching farm lane. Roger just has to be a little bit careful on the side versus Miposhka because, you know, that Bane, king of lanes. And we see the way Miposhka's playing it. He's actually taking, like, no experience. He's giving Yatoro everything right now. Just a level 1 Bane.
Oh, that's pretty big, actually, yeah. It's very nice for Yatoro. PA is, you know, much as it usually is played into side lane, the support sapping the XP around. The quicker you get that level 6, the better. Just getting those early crits in, especially when you have that Rayfam, Blightstone, Treadstone. The hero's incredibly potent at 6.
It's also like even this small thing in the laning phase. Look, he's level 3 on the PA, but he has Blur. So the harassment from the Nature's Prophet and the Treants isn't going to be nearly as much as usual just because he gets that 3 early. So all these little things we really do, they add up. Roger. Will be just fine. He has 9 stick as well.
Yeah, I think as you said, but both teams here on this top lane, as long as supports are around, they're not going to be under any threat. PA not going to die with more posture up and bottom. Likewise with General.
I know you are, but what about?
Yeah, I would actually finish off always want to fly. I mean, he's a tanky man on the Ogre. Not tanky enough there. Collapsing that extra little bit of a boost because of Roger being low on the way back on the top lane.
Very strong right now at level 3 for this bottom lane. Even though there's an Ogre and a Life Stealer there, couple melee heroes walking in versus Phoenix, the harassment, it's just too much. And Collapse, this is the beauty about this offlane Bloodseeker that we're seeing versus Secret. You're always full health. You always have so much to stand in the lane. Applying pressure, and so bad now he gets to lead bottom and actually check the runes for his Wind Ranger. Pretty huge.
He's able to get in and grab the rune. In fact, they're going to just try and do as much damage as they can to Iceberg. They block him a little bit. Top lane, Yatoro and Miposhka, they actually get away with a kill onto General, as nothing could be done by Roger to keep him safe there.
Just stayed up a little bit too far, it seems, just too low. Usually doesn't happen too much because you have 2 forms of TPs to deal with, you know, the sleep that comes up. Only have one way to stop that TP.
Yeah.
Of the top lane, but yeah, General, it's punished. A little bit too much damage. Can't be giving those kills on a Furion up versus a PA.
I get the rolling onto Yatoro, but yeah, Yatoro himself, much harder for them to kill. A little bit of evasion making all the difference.
Yeah. B2 starting to get pushed a little bit off the waves here. Still getting good last hit, 24, but Collapse, you see he's matching. And they always just can trade hits onto B2 with these two. 9 armor on the Bloodseeker, he can always just hit back. You always want to fly, can't contest.
Every coin helps.
As nicely as you see the runes. Yellow Submarine will be able to claim the 2 down bottom. But Navi should get the 2 top. I say that, Miposhka, he's trying to get in range. He can mango.
Yeah, he's
still low, he's still lacking, yeah.
Gonna pop it, but
What have we here?
quite enough mana for Nightmare yet. Now he has. Roger. Staying around, but yeah, Roger realized he has to keep his distance when Miposhka having the spells ready. Roger has to return back to base.
Miposhka, I feel like could have actually had that kill if he did the math a little better. He did the sloop first, and then he goes into Clarity and Mango, but it was tough.
Now that they know they've forced Roger back. So General gonna try and juke this one out. Yatoro and Miposhka are hunting for him, and there's nowhere for him to run. He's gonna try and sprout, but Yatoro's in the trees. General, he's down for a second time in this lane. I mean, 2 kills already that Yatoro's getting in this laning stage. This is pretty big for the PA.
Yeah, she's going to be 6 pretty much already done because Miposhka's left the lane a lot and gave him tons of that solo experience. And they've actually broken the top lane. Yeah, her spirit. We see Roger has to move away from there as well. Those deaths are really going to hurt. They're really going to add up. Look at, like, General's only level 4. Most of the time...
Yeah, he can't go back to the lane.
Yeah, and most of the time when we see Nature's Prophet, it's usually you're getting close to 6 now, and the other lanes have to worry because of Wrath of Nature's going to come through. He has the full jungle, and now it's making it awkward for Roger, too, because he doesn't have a home to play properly.
Has been killed.
I mean, was there sort of a different way they could have played that in which Roger isn't taking as much XP from him, or does he need to be as close as he was during that lane?
I think he has to play kind of close as bottom.
Yeah.
Another Collapse connects.
Running in, Boys want to fly. They got the Submarine. They're burning him down from a distance. Collapse is able to chase in. So bad will go down as Roger's in with the counter play. See if they can try for Collapse too. Iceberg's able to get him with the combo, and they're going to have the boat come crashing down onto Collapse as he's in a whole lot of trouble. Actually, will shoot the Torrent. He's trying for the TP out, but he's not going to make it. Navi's got the damage. Will manage to make those moves here. Iceberg getting active.
Can't believe he tried to TP out there. It's close, but can't believe he went for it. But a good move, yeah. Iceberg, I feel like he has to look to make those moves as... Like we said, the top lane is broken, so I feel like they have to look to make some type of crazy kind of moves around here in the beginning of the game. But yeah, it definitely feels like they made some mistakes up in that top lane quite heavily. Even though it is a Bane and a PA Bane, the kings of lane, you have a Nature's Prophet on your lane. That's, you know, this is pretty painful right now for Navi. The General's going to be so slowed down in this game.
Switch positions as well now with the time coming in to put pressure onto the enemy tier 1s. Toro down to the bottom.
Radiant's bottom
up
tower
top.
is under
Roger's
attack.
still hanging around down here. He's going to have to roll away. Straight away off he goes. So bad.
Might still
keep a few more spirits on him.
Okay, can't actually commit.
Just keeping the creeps on the tower. And Collapse on the top lane. He's not going to be able to do too bad a job of putting a stop to this attempt from V-Tune to keep pressure up. As he's more than happy to farm in this lane. He's level 6 as well, so rupture opportunities are there. Obviously not too easy to do something against it the lifestealer on his own, with Infest being available for V2.
Look at always want to fly. He just walks up and feeds actually to me.
They actually might have a shot at this. They had the Nightmare into the silencer case, so not enough to threaten him. But yeah, no, what happened to always want to fly? Bottom lane. Gonna try, but the bar onto Yatoro. He's able to jump to the side with the play. Yatoro's still alive here. They're hunting him down. I mean, surely they find him. Is there any way that he can juke this out? The sprouts out. Yatoro continuing to run. He's going to have jump in a second. Doesn't matter. Iceberg finishes him off with the Tidebringer. PA goes down. Big kill to be found as well. Yatoro was having quite a start to this game.
Yeah, in general, he does hit the 6 at a pretty okay time still and is able to get that Wrath in. To answer what happened earlier, if Always Want to Fly literally walked up, dewarded the ward on the high ground, and then just got focused, fired, and killed. That's it. He just walked in.
All right. Easy for me.
Yeah. Exactly where he pinged. Like where he just pinged right now. Yeah, he walked in and just kind of fed.
And now Mio say he's going to have the Javelin done very shortly.
Yep. He stopped him from doing a stack, but I think Mio was like, okay, I'll stop doing the stack for a free kill. As yeah, Javelin's going to be online, and now he's going to be able to look around and get those type of kills on the side. And he wants to get one of those big core kills. He definitely wants to try to slow down Iceberg or V-Tune, but still going to be pretty tough as they are very tanky.
We are seeing some balance here, though, fortunately, from the RNG gods, as both carries have the Iron Talon. And,
very nice.
Of course, both carries that will be eyeing up those Ancients.
Who has the Jelly and who doesn't, then?
Jelly was on Navi's side.
Oh, so V-Tune's got the blessed duo. Talon and the Jelly.
Yeah, that's definitely the carry tree. On him. Roger. Tries to step in for the bounty ring. Just managed to slow them and silence them. Iceberg's also going to come across. Roger goes down. Supernova on the high ground. Will force Navi to think about how they take this fight, but Jenna is trying to take it out. He's able to do so. They get to the egg. Mio, he's looking at Jenna in return. Will get him. See on the side, Iceberg diving in for the kill on Yatoro. Will find it, but now he's been ruptured and he's pretty deep. Stun comes out to Mio. Mio trying to step away from Iceberg. Iceberg, he can't do anything else here, having to be held in position because of this rupture. Always Want to Fly goes for the TP out, but Mio, he's able to put it to a stop. Shackle shot in play. Always Want to Fly taken out as well. As a fight, really kicking off there between the two teams. Yellow Submarine, they may have lost their carry, but there continues to be another situation where Mio is he's coming out alive and on top.
Yeah, he came out big. V-Tune, though, during the entirety of it, is able to farm up top, so it ends up being maybe pretty even. Maybe slightly Navi favored, but pretty even overall. Because now the egg is down, so now like they have 50 seconds where Yellow Submarine has to wait for egg.
Oh yeah, especially if they can maybe pressure this Phoenix top. V-Tune looking for him, but the dive's out. Space is there though. Yeah, General and V-Tune, they'll do a good job of taking down the tier 1 towers.
Radiant's bottom
lane collapse.
under attack.
Time for the tier 1 of Navi himself.
And we can see how much of an infinitely better game across the board it is for Navi. And we can see, lanes and everything, like their mid-game fights, it's all gonna come together. Kunkka Earth naturally will be able to make these plays and these type of fights kick off. And just something interesting to point out too is that Mio upgraded his treads rather than buying the Javelin, by the way, when he showed up to the fight bottom.
He did do that, yeah. Was that sort of he just sort of faded the quick burst because of the fight happening? Like, as in, did he pick it up before the fight because he knew he was going to need
Dire's
to?
Middle tower is under attack.
I think maybe it was because he was a little bit short of the Javelin, but I think also maybe he just wants to play with treads. It's very rare you see these Wind Rangers go treads in the mid lane. So, I mean, if he's super comfortable with going for this item build, sure, it does change you. It does change it a little bit, right? You're actually quite a lot stronger without the focus fire too.
That's mid. Look at the X mark set up on collapse, straight back into the torrent. Shackle shot Salvo onto Roger. As Roger, he's going to get the magnetize off, but he will go down. Iceberg being forced to the side by the Sunbreak and collapse chase for more. He's going to try.
Iceberg.
They're able to get the grab on him. Big Fiend Script and split up coming out from the side, but V-Tune is going to go over the range. He looks to put a stop to it, and he'll be able to do so. They're able to save Iceberg, put a stop to the Fiend Script, take down the Supernova, and V-Tune cleans up. He gets the double.
Dude, these defensive infests I've seen from the Life Series actually what's made Navi a hero. It just heals them up so much. And yeah, they can just turn the fight now and even pressure the tower, perhaps. As Yatoro, he shows his face, but Yatoro, he doesn't want to look to fight. He's going for the Battle Fury build, not the Death Cell build this game. So he wants to be much more farm-centric, because they're keeping it to fight again. V-Tune gets it denied.
Going to charge across towards Snowbound to get the silence. Shackle won't latch onto V-Tune. Always Want to Fly, trying to hold back collapse with the Fire Blast. Iceberg thinking about maybe an X-Mark grab. He's got the boat back up. Na'Vi are not afraid to fight here. The Yellow Submarine, they will retreat. Na'Vi will do so as well, give them the space. And I mean, do you imagine Na'Vi with these heroes, they do have to continue playing fast? Like, Na'Vi, is there a risk for them if they do go late against the Yatoro PA with the Battle Fury?
Yes. If the Lifestealer isn't, you know, significantly ahead above the PA, the thing that we always say, if you're playing versus just a harder carrying lineup, yes. You know, there's a Phoenix and a PA on one side that scale very hard into the super late stages. So I'd like Na'Vi to keep that pace going. Keep looking for these kills, keep looking for these fights. Make Yellow Submarine play on the back foot with their egg. 20 seconds until it's back up. They're looking to make the play. This is perfect for Na'Vi. See if they can catch them.
They can. Also scared about going to the tier 2. I mean, sweeping over towards Mio would be a juicier catch for sure.
Mio going for the perfect item build, just Javelin and just straight BKB. Needs BKB to deal with the control. The Earth Spear and the Kunkka really do mess with your Wind Ranger quite a lot inside of these fights. So bad. He's sticking up a little bit far up.
Oh, they're able to get him with the roll. Straight away, they catch him with the stun into the silence. So bad. Tries to get out with the dive, but the Fire Blast multicast is there from Always Wanna Fly.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Something we didn't actually point out too is that, you know, the Earth Spirit always does do that mechanism for the Lifesteal a lot of times too to get into these squishy backlines. That's very good for Na'Vi. Yeah, they're keeping the lead. Not by much though. It's very small. No, actually like pretty much 0 gold lead, and Experience is actually leading Yellow Submarine slightly. And that lead, you know, so the how even it is at the moment, the gap is gonna get pretty big over time once Yatoro has the Battle Fury. That Nightmare actually saving him very nicely from the initiation with the roll. Still though, the X-Spark is down into the boat. Mio, pretty tanky, but with the ults coming in, the Nature's Wrath as well, he doesn't stand a chance. Collapse comes in from the side. Will lay down the Rupture onto General. V-Tune moving in onto the Bloodseeker. The Fire Spirit slowing down the attack speed for now from V-Tune. But again, the controls there from Iceberg. Another X-Mark catch, another kill, and into the trees. Roger, he's found the bait. Big moves from Na'Vi. They continue to play fast as they need to do so. Because there's the timer. Yatoro, 15 minutes in, Treads Battle Fury done. Na'Vi's got to keep this up. They can't let the PA's farm kick in this game. I mean, they're playing it perfect so far. Iceberg, he's got this Halberd even finished up now too. So bad, he's actually showing his face up top. He might get punished.
They might be able to catch it. Yeah, Roger.
They got him.
Again, Roger with some excellent catches. So bad will fall. Na'Vi now 2k up. They know they've got to keep this going.
And it's a big roll too, because something I didn't even notice either is he's playing versus Wind Ranger and PA as Lifestealer. So he can just go MKB, and that's his dream item. Counters both of them.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, I mean, this is going to be such a good timing. This MKB is going to be so quick, and it is going to come at a point where, I mean, they should say with this item, these two heroes, Wind Ranger PA, don't feel happy around the Lifestealer for the whole of the game, let alone when he gets it as quickly as V-Tune's going to be able to do so this time.
Under attack.
Yeah, absolutely. This is very good for Na'Vi. Yellow Submarine, they need more time. Yatoro, he needs to get the BKB in order to really show up. Same thing as the Wind Ranger. He is countered pretty hard in this game by the Earth Spirit, by the Kunkka, these heroes that break, you know, the elusiveness inside of the fights. And the Orchid too. There's just a lot of things that they have to deal with. So for Yellow Submarine, I feel like it's take a little bit of a step back on the pedal and just finish up those BKBs. Let Na'Vi be the ones that run into you.
I mean, and even when he has the BKB right, it's a PA with a Battle Fury and BKB. It's still not really the timing that Yatoro is going to be very scary at all. You know, it's not like he has any sort of buff from his teammates. There's no Alacrity, no Empower, you know, anything as such. No Blood
Rage.
I guess he's got the blood. You're right.
But he used it
Blood
Rage.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
In the jungle, RV, they're just moving around, finding these kills. But Posh got caught out alone.
That's pretty much the MKB done on V-Tune. This is a huge timing for Na'Vi.
Yeah, he's so strong right now.
Yeah, I feel like they can really they can do so much now with their timings here. They can either pressure lanes or they can look to, like, if the lanes are pushed up, go for a Roche.
Dude, he's going out very far. I mean, he is dead. There is no escape for him. Straight back into the combo. Don't believe it. Yatoro dying is just, you know, that's pretty rough for Yellow Submarine. He's the carrier. It's got this Battle Fury. He needs to be out on the map. And Na'Vi just doing an excellent job of catching out these cores, slowing down their game whilst keeping V-Tunes in such a good position. As we're getting closer and closer. I mean, already Na'Vi is at a point with their lineup where they can take all these outer towers, and I don't think Yellow Submarine's going to be ready to stop it.
No, they're invading really hard here. Look at Roger. He actually took 2 deep wards, a ward in the base to see behind the tower too. They're set up here to look
Dire's top
to
tower
really
is under
cement their lead.
attack.
4K gold lead. Monkey
Radiant
bar finished on
structures
V-Tune.
are fortified.
Yellow Submarine. They're getting ran at.
Another catch, onto collapse. He's able to dodge the top with Wuggle. They've got a lot waiting for him as soon as he comes down. Look at that damage from V-Tune as collapse is gone. And Yellow Submarine, they've got to continue to just avoid this.
Ganking.
And they have it. So bad's been found. More kills for V-Tune. Courtesy of General and his teleportation.
And it feels like you're watching a totally different team from the first time with Na'Vi.
It is. What happened in
Right.
game? What were they doing during the draft?
It's just such a
Dire's
better
middle
draft, and
tower
you can
has
tell they all
fallen.
feel so much more comfortable on the heroes they're playing as well, too, just making their own decisions, making their moves around the map. It's Yellow Submarine who looks lost because of this now, because they're on such a big back foot, and they've gone for the greed. They have to finish up these BKBs before they can even look to contest Na'Vi because of the strength of the draft and lanes. It's really good stuff from Na'Vi right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely, you know, on Na'Vi to keep this up. Like, if it does get to the point in this game where Yatoro finishes, BKB gets like the next stat item after that, whatever that'll be, then things are going to get tough. But that's Na'Vi, they're just doing an excellent job of not letting that happen. Mid lane, another catch. But they able to use up the Earth Spirit to stop him from getting away straight away. Down onto him, Roger. All out of the blood bright. Can't even kill him. He's out and away. Na'Vi continuing to bully Yellow Submarine right back to the base. And just limit the time and chance that the Yellow Submarine cores are going to have to actually get to a point where they're going to have any sort of chance of standing up against V-Tune's Lifestealer.
Yeah, and he's got the Bloodlust too also throughout the game too, so he's always enabled even more, and they have so much map control. I feel like they can actually just force the Rosh at any time here. Yellow Submarine, there's no way that they fight around Rosh without the BKBs finished and without a level 2 Aggie. So I think Na'Vi, they can go right into the pit there, and it's free.
They're going to do it very quickly as well with V-Tune's damage. Sorry, how's he doing on the BKB time? He's still 1,000 gold off. Yeah, these team fights and those BKB is going to be ever so important with Iceberg having the full ags.
Oh my god, yeah,
Between this Halberd and the Torrent Storm, you're not going to stand any chance trying to fight this Kunku right now.
God, Mio is just going to die instantly if he doesn't have the BKB. This game could end very abruptly here. Na'Vi, they could just prep the issue here and end it. They see the opportunity. Yellow Submarine, still no BKBs at the ready. Looking to smoke actually to maybe set up onto somebody here, but the ping's already coming out. It looks like Na'Vi, they're prepared for it.
Yeah, Pichu pinged it out straight away, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're so aware of it. I mean, there's no vision, but I guess with no one showing anywhere else.
They have the base ward, so I guess maybe they saw something happening around there.
That's true. They might have seen it. They might have seen them come out and step into the triangle, and then
I think something like that.
No, they're no longer there, so they know that Yellow Submarine's trying to find some action.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
BKB still not finished. So like you said, it's really the next big item is where Yatoro actually has his strength. These are the ones that just allow him to survive. Mio, BKB finished, so he's got a lot more ways to survive, but their damage just isn't there now because they have to just do this, so.
He needs that next start and
To the high ground. Medallion finished. Buffing up V-Tune a little bit as he's able to hit it.
To sort of split the attention away so bad, just staying down in this bottom lane.
Yep.
Na'Vi, are they in a position where they can just rush for the high ground? Like, so if you feel they maybe don't think that they need to because of the fact that V-Tune is as big as he is, they can still just wait out these items?
Rushing the high ground is just always just a tough task. Like for any team, you see like any teams in Dota, it's still, you wait for a big lead, you wait for a big opportunity with something with your Aegis or something along those lines. So pick off. They still do have the Aegis for quite some time here, so they might just look to force this tower slowly every time there is rage. But committing past the tower is still a little bit of a concern. Like you said, so bad he is getting quite some space down bottom. Trying to get level 12. I believe their BKBs are online, so they're looking quite a bit stronger to fight.
And that is the strength, right? Sure, there's still a lot of damage from the lifestealer coming through, regardless of the BKB or not, but there's no BKB piercing control from Na'Vi. So you get these BKBs off on these heroes like PA with the jump and Wind Ranger with the Wind Run, you should be able to run away from Na'Vi.
Oh, so bad. They're stalking him. He's able to Sunray away. Roger actually almost clipped him off the map.
I was going to say, that would have been pretty hype if he followed him up the cliff and got him to roll.
We know the counter. This is probably the only hero that can actually catch Phoenix as you're sunraying off the map.
Well, I guess that and anyone else with a long range stun, right? Like Hookshot, Fisher,
yeah.
You know what I mean? You can sort of reach out and get him. But definitely the one that would look the coolest is the Earth Spirit.
That's true.
Actually going in and off the map to chase him.
The jumping in, the fast again is ready.
Oh, they got the Silence from the podcast. They do actually manage to turn it. Get the Shackles on to Roger. Roger goes down. The Fiend's Grip is there onto V-Tune. Do they have the damage though? It doesn't look like the Yatoro is going to turn his attention over towards the Iceberg.
The Rupture gets him.
That is going to be one of his lives taken away here, V-Tune. And I think, yes, Yellow Submarine, that'll be fine if they don't lose anything else here. They were just able to step outside of their base and get rid of that Aegis. Shatora also able to blur away without Iceberg being able to find it. So bad still hiding in the trees. Iceberg's in the ground vision. Got him with the X-Mark. So bad, can he time the dive? He can. He's off with the Sunray. No TP for 12 seconds though. He's going to try and break his way over the map, but he falls back into the reach. Still more time being bought for the Ghost Scepter. He's making them work for it, but they'll get the job done, Na'Vi, as they take down so bad. But, I mean, that's not the worst Aegis fight for Yellow Submarine, considering it was V-Tune with the Aegis.
Yeah, they just countered their BKBs. Mio actually almost died before getting his BKB up. I was a little worried for him because he popped it late. But this is, you know, they're just trying to survive. This is what these BKBs are for. Survive so you get those next two big items and then look to have this fighting shot versus Na'Vi. Na'Vi's not giving him much space though, much time to get that farm up.
They're in position to take the Tier 2 down bottom. And if they can get the jump on Yatoro, he's able to put the BKB out with the TP. He is away. Net control, they want to collapse. Will find the blood right, but they're on top of him. Trying to do his best with the Duke. Still has a Yule Scepter to play with. He's been trapped in here. He's actually going to go for the TP out, but Roger's got the folder. Ready to roll in. The stop to collapse his escape. Setting up yet another kill for V-Tune now. 9-0-6. They got the damage. Mio. The silence onto him. The Torrent Storm and the Sprout. Mio's in trouble. He's trying to run away. There's going to be Yatoro jumping in, but Mio's gone down. Now the run's on Iceberg. Yatoro can't fight into this. He's got to jump out. Over him, Posture, he goes running himself away, but the X-Mark is in play. Nightmare. Nicely used to break the combo.
Wow, I think that actually saves him. That Nightmare just saved Yatoro, I'm pretty sure.
Dire are scanning.
Very fast thinking here from Poshka.
Yep. God, yo, clumsing that with Lifestealer is just such, it's so OP. It's so broken every time I see it. Just rages and nets someone right next to him and then he's not netted. Every time I see this, it's so strong. B2. That's the Bastion too, that extra lockdown. Like we're saying, Wind Ranger, PA, you're all about the mobility in the fight, jumping target to target. MKB with the Bastion gonna prevent that significantly.
And Na'Vi now want 15k lead. As you say, they could still just play it safe, wait for Roche to get back up. Want to try and go for a high ground push.
For my master.
Does still seem no real rush for Na'Vi. Sure, the Yatoro PA is getting those items, but still such a lead that the three cores of Na'Vi have, all of them in prime position on that network board.
And great itemization too coming out. Lifestealer can be finishing up the AC next after this Bastion Abyssal Blade. They have the Solar Crest up on the Nature's Prophet as well. They have medallions and everything in Halberds. They know exactly what they're playing against. They know the big scare is just if PA is able to hop one-shot people with this big burst. So they're itemizing armor, any type of defensive things for it. Taro's, he's close to the Deso on the PA. Add a little bit more damage to break through that medallion and Solar Crest that's going to be thrown onto V-Tune. Still feels like his damage is going to be quite lacking.
Yeah.
Even with this pickup.
Yeah, and even with the next pickup, right, he's got the Satanic queued up. I'm sure that's going to give him a solid chance of living, but the damage is going to be pretty slow and drawn out over the fights. Unless he gets insanely lucky with the crits.
Yup.
V-Tune also trading in his clumsy net now, as he did find sort of the item that you can never pass up. The Paladin Sword for Lifestealer. Very, very nice.
Hey, even sometimes still, like clumsy net. That is insane. It's always want to fly. He's actually stepped up a bit far here. There's no reveal.
He's gonna get away. The dagger. Oh,
down.
But now, Soban's going to get caught up. They have to get the jump. The Phoenix is burst before he can pop any single spell. Puts the BKB General. Also BKB as he tries to come out over towards the Bane. Yatoro jumps in General. He's actually going to get taken out here. As Navi, they've lost two.
They're a bit scared. The
Yatoro, he's going to try and chase for more. The dagger slows down on Iceberg, but Iceberg still full HP. Turns the X-Mark onto Yatoro. First as well, V-Tune, he's over onto Mio. Mio's been silenced. They're trying to hit him with the Sunray, but the roll fall from Roger finishes him off. As Mio goes down, Collapse, Soban and Yatoro hiding off to the side. Iceberg trying to get in range for the catch. Collapse, he's into the trees, he's out with the TP, but the X mark is there. They'll be able to take Collapse straight back into this. No, he's able to dodge it with the Yules.
Yeah.
Dodges it with the Yules. He's going to be fine. And now Roger's actually rolled up into the base. Yatoro tried to jump in. The Nightmare actually ends up holding himself back. But now Iceberg, he stepped into feed script range. Have they got the damage? Yatoro is going to get a long time to hit onto Iceberg. But there's time for the disarm to come into play. V-Tune turns over to watch Yatoro. Nightmare save, protecting for the tiebreak. But no, he jumps to the creep. Why did he not jump back to the... He could have jumped to Maposhka. He jumped upon a creep right next to it. I mean, now he's dead for 60 seconds. He could have got out of that, but he didn't. As Yatoro passes up an opportunity to stay alive and dies outside of the base.
And now he's all back up. They're just going to come right back into this.
Oh, yes, they're coming in with a big push here now. He's out here from General. But you know Yatoro now for 45 seconds off the back of that blunder.
Dire's top barracks are under attack. Dire's structures.
They'll lose at least his top rack. See if Navi can get anything more from them here.
Yeah, Yellow Submarine know that there's no way if they want to go to contest that one. General, he sees Mio. He sees the Wind Ranger going for these bounties. Considering a TP out. Roger's setting up. But they decide against it.
21k ahead. Little sort of mistakes from Yellow Submarine. They just can't come out with those as Na'Vi continue to push them further behind. And how what's the general buyback status across the board? It is still okay. It was both buybacks from Yellow Submarine on cooldown for the next 5 or so minutes.
Yeah, they've had to expend so much, and they just feel so fragile. In the front. They really don't feel like they have a frontline hero in this game. It just Mio, he walks up and he just gets eaten alive on this Wind Ranger so easily by everything he's up against now. Looking about here. Maybe looking for V-Tune, but they're right.
Find that initiation out. Toro. He's out with the blink. Mark is onto Mio. Mio does have the BKB. Nightmare. It's going to save him though.
Just waiting for Roche. Navi, 15 seconds, playing around the area. Picking up a full Shivas now for Iceberg too. And the AC so for the Lifestealer. So that PA, you know, we saw the Deso kick off in that last fight. Be decent, but now more armor.
And now they're going to roll in immediately onto Maposh, going to magnetize as well, pushing them back. Mio plus the BKB. V-Tune's chasing him down, turns his attention over towards the side. The Supernova is there, but they're instantly taking it out. The egg will fall. Collapse goes down. 3 down on Yellow Submarine. Yatoro actually clipped by the Torrent Storm. He's able to put the blur. Can he jump out? He cannot. V-Tune in with the bash. Yatoro goes down. GG is cool. As a proper turnaround from game 1. As game 1, we saw Yellow Submarine coming in with the easy play, and we said maybe it was just the draft in that game 1, and now what we've seen in terms of performance in game 2, maybe it really was just the draft fog. There's Na'Vi here. Their play looked as hot as ever, as they crushed Yellow Submarine. No chance for Yellow Submarine to even get a chance in this game. They just got pushed back the entire time. This PA was never able to come online.
Yeah, I felt like it was just